What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Time's come once again on this happiest of Fridays for another episode of the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour today at the request yet again of Mr. Riker Davis. We're cracking open that Dragon Empires Gazetter and we're going to talk about the nation of Xidao. And yes, my friend, by the way, it is in fact its own nation. If you have any requests, they go down in the comments. Today, this episode of the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour, was brought to you in part by Joseph Citadino, Black Dragon Gaming's resident necromancer. Thanks so much for your help, my friend. Now let's dive in. So, the shallow sea, which is known as the Gulf of Xidao, separates Minkai from the mainland of Tian Sha. It's frequented by superstitious fishermen and merchants, ever careful to pay homage to the creatures beneath the waves. The shallow shores of the sea are home to shellfish, crabs, lobsters. The region is a bounty and it acts as a draw to fishermen. In addition, Xidao's pearls are famed throughout Minkai for their beauty, and black pearls of great value are often found here. However, those who would travel upon or take resources from the Gulf of Xidao are well advised to pay for that honor by placing an offering in one of the countless trade spires scattered atop reefs and atolls throughout the Gulf. These stone obelisks feature numerous small shelves onto which offerings of ceramics, glass, gold, metal tools, and weapons, in addition to vegetables like tubers, can be placed. Travelers or fishermen who fail to place these offerings do so at significant risk, because the Gulf is not just a waterway, it in fact is an aquatic nation. That nation's primary denizens are the fish-like humanoids that we know as Locathas. In addition, Cecilias, Tritons, and other benevolent aquatic creatures call this nation home, monitoring these trade spires and offerings placed there. In return for those resources, they help protect air breathers who wish to use Xidao for travel or fishing. Generally speaking, they take no aggressive action against sailors and fishermen who fail to place offerings, but neither do they come to the aid of the people who the more sinister denizens of Xidao, think krakens, sahuagin, dragon turtles if you're me and 3 dragons, etc., when they inevitably appear. Xidao itself consists of numerous undersea city-states. Each has its own government and leaders, but all of them operate under a treaty that ensures not only that no city-state shall take hostile acts against another, but that if one city-state comes under attack, all of the other city-states will come to its defense. Local politics and outlooks are varied, and a few of these city-states have little interest in the air gulpers, but most are willing to trade with the sailors and fishermen on neighboring coastlines. Now, I have in fact used Xidao in A Tale of 3 Dragons. We didn't stay there long. We stayed there for a session. Like all of my games, basically, it's based off my N64 nostalgia. We're in fact just playing Aiden Chronicles the First Mage, dressed up as Pathfinder in the Far East. Nevertheless, to get them there faster, I decided I would give the party a boat with a magical guardian, the spirit of a Nagaji, and using its magical spirit powers, it can cause their boat to move at the speeds of a boat from the modern day, crossing the Gulf of Xidao in a couple of days, whereas normally it would take a couple of weeks, but they still had to stop because the boat would stop at any sign of danger to pay tribute to the Lokatha. Though we were only here a session, it definitely created a lot of different stuff that you don't normally see in a campaign. It was a quick way for the party to have, here's an aquatic thing, in between traveling from Japan to the rainforests of the Eastern world, which has been, by the way, a blast. If I were to stay here a little longer, I could definitely see the Locathas passing out the Pathfinder equivalent of gillyweed so we could breathe underwater, go visit these nations, help the Lokatha fight off some sahuagin, or help the sahuagin kill all the Lokatha, both of which have racial stats, and we did cover the sahuagin a long time ago. Haven't said this in a while. Follow this card right up here for an old video about a spooky, monstrous shark people race. As far as a real-life equivalent, I'm not necessarily sure if we have one for this. I think it more serves as the buffer, because Japan, of course, is an island archipelago, but Minkai is attached via the Forest of Spirits as a peninsula through the rest of the Dragon Empires. I would say Xidao exists to feel not unlike the Sea of Japan, while allowing our aquatic races to find home here. But that's all I have to say about that. What do you guys think about Xidao? Have we played any undersea campaigns? What's the scariest undersea monster that might fit in a Far East setting, just for my own notes, I'll say? And how do you help your party go really fast in a world where they don't have teleport yet? On a map that's as big as it is, like Galarian's map? Let me know in the comments. We'll keep that conversation rolling. Next week on the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour, we're covering Poli. I'll see you then.